Hey, what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here, guitarjams.com. What I'm going to do in this video, actually, is try and just, have a little dialogue with you guys out there. It's a question I get multiple times a week, and I thought it'd be great to just address it here. And the question is, Marty, do you have any tips for how I can sing and play guitar at the same time? I'm having problems with that, or some variation of singing and playing at the same time. So I'm going to answer you. I've got some pretty good tips. One thing I would say is, if I could go back in time when I was in my 20s, I would have worked on my singing a lot more, because it's, if you want to make it in music, let's say, you've got that dream, it's great to be like self-sufficient and versatile. So whether you're a good singer because you're going to be writing tunes and you're going to be able to be your own, lead singer, that's one thing. But also just being able to sing harmonies and backup vocals in a band is a great skill, probably more important than being able to rip a face melter. Not to say that that's not like the most fun thing to do on guitar, but it's going to get you a gig better if you can sing well. So that's what I would start with. Another thing is people that ask that question, I find, are kind of in the beginning stages of playing guitar. So one thing you got to do is just keep practicing guitar, because if you're having problems singing and playing, that probably means that you're having to think still a lot. And we don't like thinking. We don't like having to think, do we? But, you're probably still thinking on the mechanics and feeling the rhythm. The more you play, the more second nature, feeling a rhythm and being able to have a conversation. I can still talk to you and the rhythm's going, because I've played so much that I've got that muscle memory. I keep doing that a lot. I've got the muscle memory to where I just, I'm not having to use that much of my brain juice to get it going, right? So that'd be one thing, is just keep practicing guitar. But another thing that I found really valuable, there's a couple different things, but the number one thing is look at your lyrics and see what chord, look at where the chord changes with what lyric. So you want to attach, you're singing a song, every rose has its thorn. Yeah, it does, right? So what was the lyric? Every rose has its thorn. So thorn. And also notice if the strum's right down on the lyric, or if it's thorn and then a strum, or thorn, and pay attention to that. And you break it, deconstruct it and take it real slow to see, like, every rose has its thorn. So thorn goes right down on the strum. And the ev of the every is right a down strum of G. So you could start by just doing the down strums of the lyrics. Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn. And by the way, that on, everyone was copying Axl Rose during that little era there. Every cowboy, so like every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. So you want to, the point is, you want to associate what lyric goes with what change, and don't get too, crazy with all your strumming. Another thing that I've talked about with playing guitar too is, sometimes you're going to focus on your right hand for a little bit, focusing on your chord shapes for a little bit, put them together for a little bit. So like compartmentalizing little aspects of your skills. So you could practice the song without singing, with nice rhythm. And then practice with your singing and maybe not make it as complicated with your strumming. Every rose has its thorn, just like every night has its dawn. Yeah, right? And so that would be the number one thing I would give people when I used to teach one-on-one guitar lessons, which I always enjoyed. Another tip is don't pick songs that are too complicated in the beginning if you're trying to work on that singing and playing at the same time. You got to pick simple, strummy songs and then build it up. And I would say also practicing it really, really slow. Always. Super slowly. All right, now I want to talk about some singing stuff, which, like I said, maybe I have a little thing in my head that kind of tells me I'm not a good singer. I also know that when I was younger trying to sing, people told me I wasn't a good singer, and so I focused on my guitar, and I have no regrets. I love where I'm at with my skills, and I've focused so much on guitar. But if I could go back in time, and this is also what I've told my youngest brother, who's now starting to sing in a band, some of the tips I have for him that I know have helped me and will help you guys is this. Taking, for instance, even just that simple G chord, right? Well, when someone's singing harmony, not unison. Unison is when everyone's singing the same notes. Harmony is when, everyone's singing a different note of the chord. So what I would recommend to you is just when you're messing around, take a G chord, for instance. You can kind of improvise some singing over it. But what I really think you should do is pick out notes of the chord and sing that pitch. It's great for your ear. It's great for your guitar playing. It's great for your musicianship. But then it's also really going to help you as a singer. So if I took this chord, I can almost not sing that low, but and then strum the chord again. Take the next note. And sing both of them back and forth. Okay? What do you think we're going to do next? Hey, we're going to play that next note. Find it. Find that pitch. Get that pitch. Get that pitch. Get that pitch. All right? Sick of me yet? Here we go. I kind of sound like Jabba the Hutt. All right, next one. If you can hit it. You can play G this way too. The other thing about singing, I mean, I know there's going to get a few people are going to watch this video, and I'm, a part of singing is getting over that embarrassment and that nervousness, which I'm kind of feeling right now. I promise I'm going to leave this in. The other cool thing that you can do from that one chord is pick one of those notes, and instead of strumming the whole chord, play one of the other notes of the chord while you sing one of the other notes of the chord as you play one of the other notes of the chord. What I mean is, The other thing that's really valuable, and it will help you find melodies to sing as well, is when you take like a chord progression, for instance. When you look at that concept that I was just talking about, you can see it within a chord progression and practice. Like, for instance, if I'm playing G this way, and then I go to C like this, there's a little movement, and I could practice that. And then find another one. That open high E's in that C chord, so I could. And hopefully that just sparks some ideas for you, because you can play 3 chords or 4 or 5, 6, whatever, and look for little movements to practice along. So I find that all those things have helped me become a better musician. And also, if you have more than one, like let's say you're doing a band rehearsal, right, or even just 2 guys, you could, guys, practice singing chords together with no instruments at all. I mean, use a piano or a guitar and have different guys sing different notes of these chords, and now you are singing in harmony. All right? So those are some tips. I think that was a lot easier than typing an answer every time I get it, because I can just talk to you about it. So now when someone asks me that, I can just send them a link to this video. But if you're a super beginner, you got to practice guitar more. I know there's a lot of singers out there who are just learning guitar so they can accompany themselves, and I think that's awesome. There I go again with that movement. I think that's great, great stuff. Just keep practicing guitar, though, because that's probably the number one thing. But then use some of those tips, the lyric switching, and then just practice your singing. You don't have to be the best singer in the world to get better at it. And all the little bits that you get better at singing is going to make you a better musician. I just want to let you guys know I have a full method for learning guitar. Really great for the beginners out there that are singers, let's say, that are trying to get better at guitar. You can go to guitarjams.com, that link right down there, and actually try the site for free for 3 days just to see if it helps you. And I get great feedback from people who say it's helped them even more than they thought and helped them more than the YouTube videos because it's following a method. And that also supports all these free lessons, and I really, truly appreciate it. So give it a shot.